Today we are taking on the beginning of the... Here we see the main man Lolo in blue. And his main boo Lala gets taken away by what looks like Rhydon from Pokemon Blue. That's as recent as I've gotten with Pokemon. Adventures of Lolo. 1988 and 9. It's an interesting puzzle game that looks and sounds a lot more primitive than an 89 game does on NES. Here we are approaching the castle. Kind of an action puzzle game, of which they made 3 that I have that I know about. Pretty easy. Save the captured Princess Lala from the Great Devil's Evil Empire. The Great Devil's Evil Empire. So the way you interact with these stages, and yes, they all look the same kind of puke brown-red color. We've got Lolo in blue. We have different kinds of enemies and frenemies in these games, and different powers there on the right. The goal in each of these floors is to collect all of those hearts, which will cause the chest to open, revealing a pearl or a jewel. Upon collecting the pearl or the jewel, the door out of the screen opens, and we can exit to the next screen. So I collected that heart, and I got 2 units of ammo for my little egg freezy gun thing that you'll see here that I'll use on this this slug. One shot puts them in an egg, and then you can push them and reposition them, or you can use another one to just blast them away. Collect the second heart, collect my jewel, and on we go to the next screen. We're going to climb this tower over the course of the next few videos. In this screen, these purple guys do nothing until you actually collect the jewel from the treasure chest. And when you do, they shoot at you when you enter their line of sight. So this one up at the top will shoot down in the way he's facing. Whenever Lolo crosses his line of sight, even down here, he will shoot at you. These guys don't cause you to freeze when you cross their line of sight. Some of them do freeze you and then shoot you. These ones you actually, if you're a ways away, can escape their line of fire, which we'll see. I'm pushing this block in front of this one. That way he will not be able to shoot me. I can walk through his line of sight safely. This one I'm just going to avoid by being far away. So now their eyes are open, their mouths are open, and they are ready to fire. I can cross his line of sight down here and take advantage of that lag. When I collect the jewel, they go away. Not all enemies go away all the time when you collect the jewel, but generally they do in these screens. They will clear out for you. This screen we have the slug and we have the other green guy. What the other green guy will do is he will patrol around looking for Lolo. When he comes in contact with Lolo, he will stop and go to sleep. I know it seems pretty silly. He will create an impenetrable, unmovable barrier when he touches Lolo and goes to sleep for the rest of the level. If you get stuck on a screen in this game, you have the select button is a suicide button, and I'm going to need to use it because I should have collected that heart down there, because he's fallen asleep, he is an impenetrable object, and I can't get through him. So we're going to select suicide right here to demonstrate everything that Lolo needs. So we get 2 units of ammo. I'll collect that heart, collect this heart. Notice at the beginning of each screen, nothing starts to move until Lolo moves. So if you need to, you can examine the screen. Now, he's asleep. He will be asleep for the rest of this screen. So I'm free to collect these other hearts, collect the jewel, and head out the door. So some of these screens that have moving enemies, some of which will kill you, and some of them do things like that sleepy guy will just stop and create a barrier. Some of them will try to trap you places. Here we meet the skulls for the first time. The skulls start to move when the jewel is collected. Or when all the hearts are collected, I'm sorry. So when all the hearts are collected, the skulls will start to move and that chest opens. So what I'm doing is sealing in these 2 skulls. You see on the right I did pick up 2 units of ammo with those hearts. It doesn't do that every time. Sometimes you get more, sometimes less ammunition. So I am ready to collect these, but I have to get this guy temporarily out of my way. When I collect those last hearts, he will respawn after a few seconds, but it gives me enough time to collect the jewel and continue on. If I hadn't gotten rid of him with the egg shooter thing, I would have that would have been an instant death for me. These gray guys can't actually hurt you, but they will try to push you into a corner and trap you. If they get in line of sight with you, they will come at you to try to push you into a wall if they can, like he just tried to do before I got out of the way. So if they can get you in one of these, you can get yourself irreparably stuck. So I've got to be careful when you're going into an enclosed area when you're dealing with these gray guys. But I'll be fine here. Last one grabbed, jewel collected, and we are going to finish with the ground floor. Call it the first floor over on this side of the Atlantic. American side of the Atlantic would be the first floor. Now, this floor 2 is what the people here in Dublin would call floor 1. Gets us confused all the time. That guy will start to charge at me and become a little rolling ball of death once I start to move. I have to get him boxed in, and I know just one way to do that. Get him in here, close him off there, and close him off there. He's stuck, and I am free to collect the rest of these hearts. A lot of trial and error in this game, but it's actually quite friendly in terms of continuing. You see I have 4 Lolos left in this play, but the password system, the passwords are only 4 characters long, and you just get infinite continues at the stage that you keep dying on. So, if, like me, you get stuck stage after stage later, you can continue there. These guys are line-of-sight shooters. If you can get into their line of fire, they'll freeze you in your place and kill you. So you can't even sneak through like on the pink guys. They can't shoot through hearts. They can't shoot through the green ones. And they can also shoot in 4 directions. So I have to protect myself from any direction that I need to cross. So I'm going to cover up that guy's right and lower parts. And I will cover up this guy's left and lower portion so that I can safely collect these hearts. If I cross up here to that guy's left, he would freeze me and kill me. Same if I crossed up there to the right, so I need to go up through the middle. If I crossed that line of sight, I would die as well, or that line of sight, but I'm able to clear that out, and on we go. I wish there was a numbering system. I know I'm on the floor 2, but I don't know I always lose track of which screen I'm on. This guy will shoot you if you get into his line of sight, and he moves. He can't shoot through rocks, but they can shoot through trees. These are all things that you just learn through trial and error in this game. So I'm going to narrow his attack field, and he won't shoot me when I've got the green blocks in front of me, but he can shoot me if I get into that zone there, so I have to be careful. He also can shoot me if I go behind him, so I have to stay away from his line of sight, which means I have to go all the way around here, collect the other hearts, and then go all the way around and back to the other side, and sneak down here. It's a little shortcut, and he vanishes when we clear the jewel. Alright, looking at this level, I'll get that hammer power weapon, but I have to activate it by collecting some hearts first. So, you see there's a heart in the middle of the screen that's surrounded by rocks. I only get 1 use of that hammer power weapon, so I have to make sure I get it in time to use it. Hearts are flashing, which means the next heart I pick up will get me the power weapon. I've got the power weapon, I crushed the rock. I have 2 units of egg freezy ammo things, so I can get rid of the slug and get my jewel. Sometimes the weapons are ladders. In this one, you see it's an arrow change of direction. So the arrows are these right here. You can't go the direction that the arrow is pointing. You can go any other direction. So you can go through it from any other side except the one that it's pointing. So I need to get a power-up that will let me change the direction of the arrow. I and get these 2 hearts here. That gives me a couple units of ammo, so I'm going to move one right here so that I can block that skull in. The slug will hatch out of the egg, but he'll remain a barrier. And I need to freeze this guy so I can collect that heart. He won't go anywhere in that water. That green stuff, I guess, is water. He can't move in it at all. So he is totally stuck, and I have my arrow power up. So in we go. When I grab that last heart, the skulls will start to attack me. So I'm going to protect myself with that until the area is clear and I can sneak out behind the 2 skulls to grab that jewel.